All right, welcome everyone to the Daily Low with your only host Tone Face. Forgot today was Friday. Actually, the week's been absolutely crazy. I am in El Salvador. We came to El Salvador by a little tiny plane that only fits 6 people, including the pilot, and we flew here from Roatan through some bad weather. Check out my Twitter. Like you're on this little plane, like a little car, and you're like, wow, you cannot see 5 feet in front of you. This is an interesting flight. But we made it to El Salvador. I got my presentation at 3 p.m. local time. It'll probably be streamed. I will redo the presentation on my YouTube channel anyway, sometime next week, where Jimmy Song can challenge me. My presentation is going to be about how Bitcoin Knots is an attack on Bitcoin's decentralized protocol. So stick around for that. It'll be streamed somewhere. I just came back from the gym. Forgot today was Friday. Wanted to do a quick stream. When I opened my computer about 10 minutes ago, I saw what happened to gold and silver. And I spent the last 48 hours trying to figure out how I'm going to get to El Salvador through bad weather because we had a little plane booked that almost got canceled. And I had to make my presentation, and I got sucked into the whole Bitcoin thing. After the Bitcoin Knots core resolution happens, I am officially retiring from any Bitcoin content because I totally missed my gold and silver trade that I've been saying so much about. And here is gold. Gold tops on an MRI top. We had the top on the warning candle. Here's the daily price of gold. Gold has crashed from the top already 12%. And as I've been saying for an unreasonably long time, this is an exponential rise. It is unsustainable. It is going to go back down, and very likely, we will at least come down to 4,000 area, and very likely we can go even lower to the prior moving average. And there's the top in gold on an MRI top. And here is the top in silver. No surprise here on an MRI top as well. I did not stream yesterday because I was just too busy trying to get to El Salvador and finish my present and work on my presentation. And I had no idea. I had no clue. Silver got as high as 122 and then crashed while I was sleeping, I believe. Let me look at the hourly chart. Let me see when the crash comes in. This happened at 10 p.m. last night. I was having dinner with Adam Back and Seyfedina Moose and a few other people. We were at dinner, then went back to my room and went to sleep. So, I'm sorry, it was 10 a.m. yesterday. I was trying to figure out how I get to El Salvador because at 9 a.m., the little plane that was supposed to take me to El Salvador, that was flying from El Salvador to pick us up in Roatan, the plane had to turn back because of the weather. So I spent my entire morning and afternoon trying to scramble, figuring out how to get to El Salvador because I didn't want to miss my presentation. No idea this happened. And then this is last night, 8 p.m. last night, where when I was at dinner at 10 p.m., I was going to bed. This morning I woke up and went to the gym, and I just came back, and I'm looking at a $22 drop in the price of silver. So silver is now down like 15%, 25%, 20%, 22% at peak, 18% at the close of current candle. So silver took a way bigger dump, which is why the trade I was going to make, which is go long gold and short silver, the trade would have been making good money, would have been making like 5% on a very, very safe trade of long gold, short silver, the ratio basically. I may still make that trade. We will see, but like for the next 3 days, this is it. I don't know if there'll be streams. I gotta stream about the Bitcoin Knots debate. I'm gonna have shit thrown at me on stage. It's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a good weekend. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hey, the room. Evening from Thailand. I will be in Thailand in about 2 months. So if you're creative, figure out how to DM me because I will be in Thailand and a few other countries, probably Vietnam. I may swing through Bali. I may go to Japan. I got 2 months. I got 2 months in Asia, March and most of April. I got 6 weeks. I'll be in Asia. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly silver is in a bit of a middle of nowhere, but what about weekly gold? Bam, there it is. Weekly gold, MRI top, reversal candle. I think gold is done. What about monthly gold? MRI top last candle, and if this candle has a negative tone base volume by dropping all the way down to like 4, I think we just need 4.8, 4.8, and it has a negative tone base volume, kind of similar to this candle here. See, this is a bullish candle with a negative tone base volume. And remember, we're coming off a yearly top in gold as well. So gold is also on a yearly top last year. I think gold's in serious trouble. Bitcoin should be at all-time highs, but unfortunately, we have a little bit of a clash in the Bitcoin community because some people are getting too brainwashed for their own good. And the current Bitcoin nuts debate is not going to send Bitcoin to all-time high anytime soon. The good news is no miner is dumb enough to signal for Bitcoin nuts. That's the good news. At least the miners have some brain cells that are functioning. After my presentation on why Bitcoin nuts is a hostile attack on Bitcoin, maybe I'll still be able to save a few people, but I think the majority is lost. And I think the vocal majority of Twitter, the vocal majority of toxic Bitcoin maxis, I think they're going to be spinning off into a shitcoin. The lessons will be taught and learned. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Tone, the question is now, since it's over for gold and silver, whether we're going to see finally a rotation into crypto. Well, it depends, right? The S&P 500 is not it's not that bad. It looks like the shutdown might be avoided. I know nothing about this shutdown, by the way. Guys, once there is a resolution in NOTS versus Bitcoin, Bitcoin prices will rise. But this resolution may not come for another year. The Bcash battle took over a year. I'm not going to be battling over a year. I got a few more months left, and then I might come back in September just to watch the dumpster fire that is Bitcoin knots trying to force miners into a decision none of them want to make. It's not going to happen. Never thought I'd be on the side of miners, but here we are. I remember in 2017 when I was basically calling out miners, calling them, referring to them as a hammer that needs to do what the nodes tell them to do. And but this time around, we're gonna need the mining community. We're gonna need the miners to kind of protect Bitcoin this time. David Hunter says PMs have not topped, precious metals have not topped, and he is going to raise his targets. Well, he's probably going to be wrong, like a lot of talking heads. I think gold is topped. I don't mind being wrong. But I've been saying gold's in a topping stage for 3 months. And it looks like it topped at the very end of the month. It's like I used to say, right? Sell in May and go away. But there's a big difference between May 1st and May 31st. Like between May 1st and May 31st, the market can still go up 5 to 10%. And yet sell in May and go away usually is right on the money. It's just that May is a month of 31 days. And we can add a front day and a back day. The last day of February kind of counts, and the first day of June kind of counts. So now May is a day of 33 days. Yeah, the whole Iran thing is still an issue. Well, the price is correlated to signaling, right? But there is no signaling. Like if the signaling starts, I think Bitcoin's going to dump more. It doesn't mean Bitcoin can't dump, right? I mean, Knots is still picking up nodes. There's still, like if we go to, what's the website? Oh, did I close it already? Shit. Bitcoin nodes. Like if we go to, oh man, what's that website? Coins.dance? Is it Coins Dance? No. Oh man. Bitcoin mining breakdown. Shit. The website doesn't rank very high, unfortunately. It's my favorite website. I had it up earlier. Fuck. I can go to my like history. This is dangerous. Going to your browser history. Yeah, CoinDance. There it is. Right. So if we go to knots, no, sorry, if we go to nodes, like nodes historical. Now you can see right here, right? So here's Bitcoin knots in December. Here's Bitcoin knots in January. I mean, knots is still picking it up. I think that this is Bitcoin knots nodes, right? So here are Bitcoin knots nodes, and they're running at an all-time high right now. So the pleb nodes running knots, they're still rising. So that's still negative pressure on Bitcoin, but it's not as negative as miners. Like a single miner signaling for knots, it is like 100 pleb nodes or more, right? So what do we got on the node side? How many nodes are there? 5,000. I would say just a single miner signaling for nodes is like over 100 publicly viewable knots pleb nodes. I mean, that's how important those nodes are. So there is a correlation, but this is also what's dragging it up, right? So like as the movement picks up, I mean, no one cared about the knots movement until Core V30 came out. That's when that's where all the rhetoric happened. That's when all of the public debate happened. I mean, this shit wasn't even on my radar back then. Like, remember when the first episode of the show with Jimmy Song came out? It was around October when, holy shit, what's going on? And I didn't know what's going on, right? I had to learn. When I came back, I'm like, I was starting to lean pro knots when I first started researching the whole debate. But it didn't take me long to realize which is eventually going to be the winning side. and which is the side that preserves decentralization. At the end of the day, I only care about one thing, the trend of Bitcoin's decentralization of the protocol. That's the only thing that matters to me. Which side will preserve Bitcoin's decentralization for as long as possible? Because all things trend towards centralization. They always do. And the Bitcoin protocol will also trend towards centralization eventually. But for now, I think it's still trending towards decentralization, but not with knots. And this is what my presentation is going to be about. The Fed chair that was announced today, I have no idea what was announced today, guys. I've been in my own. Yeah, unfortunately, because of my hectic 48 hours, I did not get to activate my strategic exit out of Bitcoin like I told everyone. I put a message in my trading group for MRI users that Bitcoin is cooked. I put that message in there when Bitcoin was like 85,000, 86,000. I don't remember when. I have to go back to the message. Like right around here. What hour is this? Yeah, yesterday morning, I did see the price of Bitcoin when I was scrambling to figure out how to get to El Salvador. I put a message in that Bitcoin is cooked. I literally wrote that Bitcoin is cooked. Basically, get the hell out of Bitcoin in your trading positions. I put that message in right here as this MRI line was breaking down, but I was in no position to properly execute what I wanted to execute because my trading positions have already been out of Bitcoin for a long time. But because I use traditional markets and I'm running around, it was very difficult to execute proper short trades on Bitcoin, and I couldn't do it. I didn't do it. So I'm stuck. I'm stuck right here. And I think we're going lower. There's a chance. I mean, you can pray that it goes back up, but I don't have any long positions. I should have had short positions, like I told everybody that they should, but in order to increase your Bitcoin stash. And as the knots debate picks up, I just don't see us going to unless people come to their senses, but they won't. They won't. It's an ideological movement. It will never come to its senses. With spot, would you hodl or get out? Look, if it's your long-term stash, if it's a stash that will pay for your kids' education and you don't need to liquidate that stash in the next year or two, you can hold through it. But if you think you're going to need a part of that stash at some point this year, if you're going to have to use that money at some point this year for an expensive endeavor, I personally, I would take a chunk out of it now. Like the risk is too great. The risk is just too high. If sometime in September you have to pay for a $400,000 thing or even a $50,000 thing at the end of the year, because at the end of the year Bitcoin could be sitting at $60,000. You have some support. You have some support at 70, and after that, you have support. Yeah, you have support at 70. And after that, you have the moving average at 60. And after that, you have nothing. So if it goes below 60, it's probably going to 30. So right now, 70. And if we go 60 is not far. I don't think we're going to go below 60. But if we do, if we go below 60, you are looking at 30. So, and this is probably going to happen this year because the resolution to the nuts thing ain't happening till September, October. I'm going to be raising money for a construction project in Roatan, Honduras. And construction is going to start in October. So I'll be talking to you guys more about that as I retire from covering Bitcoin in a month or two, and then I'll come back to cover the dumpster fire of mandating miners to do what's not good for them. All right, I got to get to the conference downstairs. This is bad. Everything is bearish. The weekly is a red star. The monthly is a red star. The daily is in the toilet with a red star. I mean, if there was ever a confluence of everything I know about technical analysis that pointed to lower prices, it is literally this daily candle. This daily candle summarizes everything I know in TA for lower prices. The only thing that's making me bullish is because the chart is too bearish. It's the only thing that's making me bullish. It's kind of like, well, if the trade to the short side is so obvious, maybe it's time for it to reverse. Daily red star, weekly red star, monthly red star. This is literally as rare as daily MRI top, weekly MRI top, monthly MRI top. All in the same like alignment. Or the MRI buys is the same thing, right? Daily, weekly, monthly MRI buys line up. Daily, weekly, monthly red stars line up. Disaster. Total disaster. Always happens in the worst time. Like this is why once I build the construction project will have a tone-based family office where I will finally offer an opportunity to manage money for friends and family. But that also means there won't be any travel involved. I'll be working out of that office. So I will have a team of analysts. This is still like 2 years away. I'll have a team of analysts and we'll get the hedge fund up and running. Unless Bitcoin goes down to 10,000, because then I may not be able to afford it. I'm not a Bitcoin whale, guys. I came from the bottom. I was an immigrant, freaking working for quarters. So, when I was working on Wall Street, I wasn't like, I was barely in a six-figure salary. So it's not like I was a whale when I discovered Bitcoin. So I just don't like having a boss. So I prefer my independence over massive wealth. What levels would negate my gold-silver view? New highs. That's an easy question. New highs would. I need new highs. What is this? Oh yeah, that's a stock. That's fine. New highs would. Yeah, look at that. That's where the bottom was. See, I was waiting for. I was hoping that this bottom would come on the first of the month. I was ready to execute my trade on the first of the month. We hit bottom at 46. Now we're at 51. This is the gold-silver ratio. I can make it into candles if you prefer. And I was trying to time the gold. Look at this. Extension A, extension B. I was trying to time this with a monthly MRI buy that's going to happen in 2 days. in 2 days, there'll be an MRI buy on the gold silver ratio, just like the MRI top. So this was the day you should have, well, we should have went long silver and shorted gold. And this is the day where we need to do the opposite. So this is the gold silver ratio that loves to swing. It's a very safe spread trade that is a little more risk averse. I got to get to the conference. Thank you all for watching, guys. I will see you all on the next one. Watch my presentation at Plan B Forum, 3 p.m. local time, where I will explain why Bitcoin Knots is an attack on decentralization of the Bitcoin protocol. Quantum is irrelevant. I think Bitcoin Knots versus core is relevant. Bye, guys.